All right, hello everyone. So let's have a start to the week. It's another Monday, and let's get smashing. Now, this week, 26th to the 30th of May, you won't find it under recent posts. You'll have to go down into the archives, click on April 2025, and then you can find it there because I posted 26th to the 30th of May, as you know, on the 20th of April. So this week you'll find there, because the recent posts can only have the 5 recent posts in there. Okay, so that's where you're going to find 26th to the 30th of May if you're having trouble finding it. Okay, any dramas, let me know. Now let's take a look. So swing days today. So Friday was a swing day for gold. All right, and we made that top there nice and easy, not a drama there. And then we've got Friday, Monday. So today we could have, Monday going up again, or selling off. As you can see here, a bit of a pullback can happen. We still have a bit of a gap there, as you can see. So having the market come back into 3,250 is doable. 3,250 is all the way down there. All right. So if the market decides to sell, it's sellable. All right. Now, if the market just hangs around here until 12 o'clock or goes slightly higher, then, selling is okay. All right. Selling the highs, this zone is, in my opinion, okay. The gaps filled here, there's nothing really hefty here. Just a small, maybe kind of a gap here. Okay. But, it's a very small thing. So if we end up at the highs somewhere, okay, during the trade hours, I think selling is okay. Until 11:55, let's say 12 noon, I don't see a lot of changes in the market, right? This also, what you can do, right, just make a mental note of 10:30. All right, just make a mental note of 10:30. All right, 10:30. But like I said, the change should come by 12 o'clock. All right, which is the 11:55. So see how that pans out for you. All right, if you're trading gold, selling the highs, I think is okay, and that's the way to go. Impulse, retracement, gap fill, swing day, sell day, targets down there, just these dotted lines here. All right, all the way going into 3,260, 3,257. Okay, and that's basically it. That's not a PST level. If the market breaks up, obviously don't stand in front of it. Okay, because obviously that can take us all the way into LCL1, which is 3,449, which is all the way up there. Okay, so let's be sensible. If we break to the upside, then Friday could have been a low and Monday pushing with it. But because there's a gap here, I'd rather wait. If I'm going to buy, I'd like to buy the lows at PST levels, which is logical, down here somewhere to go back up. But here for me, I think is a sell zone. All right. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, euro dollar as well, with the swing days, they've got Monday, right? So this could be a breakout day, as it's happened here, as you can see. So we've got a nice little breakout, okay? Which means that we can follow this up. So if euro dollar comes down, okay, into these price levels, I've marked them in here, as you can see, because on the daily, we've got that, plus the goodbye kiss at that. Now, if the market goes up, tomorrow can also come back down for a goodbye kiss. Why? Because it's a swing day Monday. We could make a high and then the market can pull back, okay, and then kind of push down as well. So we have to be careful there. So what we can do on this one, because the weekly is in the middle of nowhere, we can still push to the upside, and it's a strong trend up, right? So going with it is a good idea. Any time the market pulls back, okay, into these levels, if we are at trading hours, by the way, the good trading hours today is going to be in New York. Actually, this 12 o'clock isn't bad. All right, 11:55. Okay, so, and then if the market turns, it should take us to a mild location by 1, but we should really be targeting 315 to 320, okay, which is there. All right, so this zone might be a good logical level. All right, this time period. So if in that time period the market takes a move, it'll retrace into 830. Okay, and if the market turns there, which is, this is a good hour, 8:30 is a good hour. So between 8:30 and 8:45, this is a good hour in that time period. If the market turns there, it should take us to closing as well. All right, so and that's basically it, because this is going to be an adjustment level. Okay, so this is not a bad hour, and 708. Let me just check on this one. 445. This is not a bad hour for the euro dollar as well. Okay, because this is not a bad spot for the euro dollar either. All right, but the market logically changing from here. So from here we might have a retracement to the downside. If it's going to go down, we shouldn't break above that. Okay, if it breaks above that, you just have to keep pushing up until 8:30 or even closing. Okay, but if this is going to be, this is for euro dollar, this is a good kind of spot. Okay, so if it turns from here, it should around those hours, coming into 12 and then like pushing down. Okay, and if it does, then you know where to go down into. Okay, now this goodbye kiss is 58, so 1368 is your first stop. If you want to buy at a trading hour here, you can. I'd say it's not a bad spot at all. Okay, and that's basically it. SB 500. Now SB 500, we got Monday. Okay, swing day. Friday was not a swing day. Okay, on that one you can see there. So today's Monday, so market going up from the lows is logical, as you can see. Now we're going to get rid of this now. Okay, this green box. I'm going to put the green box onto this one, because this is where it's going to fill the gap, and that's the cause of the breakout of the swing here. Okay, the market closing below it. So going up into here to sell is okay. So if I am on a swing day, to go up into the next swing day to push down again, I think is okay. On the weekly, as you can see, we've got a bit of room to come down to. Last week, as you can see, they bought on the first PST level. Nice, 51. 5747. Okay. Obviously, last week that was a different number, but this week is 5747. So, selling from the highs, I'd say, is still the way to go. 61 is 6143. On the weekly, 6143 is going to be all the way up there. The reason we mark this in is because of the gap. 6143 is there. All right, so that's still on the cards, so be careful because of the gap. All right, this is why I draw the rectangles with the gap in mind, so you know the tip or the edge of the rectangle is in a closure. Okay, same here, right? So be careful of that too, right? So if we are lows on the swing days, want to go up. If we are highs, I don't mind selling further down because this has got room to come down. Okay, into that wick and into there actually. Okay, and because this is the cause of the breakout. Okay, cause and consequence. All right, so that's on the SP 500. And if we do go down, these levels are going to be targets. So we want to look into 51.48.46, right? 51.5747, 5660. So let's do this. 5750, 5660. 5750. Okay, 47 actually. And then we've got 5659. Okay, so I'm going to take that. 5659. So we've got room to come down. Okay, now these are on the weekly, and on the daily, as you can see, I don't have much. Okay, so if we're going to go, we're going to go. All right. So what we can do is sell the highs. Okay, we can sell this zone. Okay, we talked about it last week. Market selling off. Okay, same here. All right, might do a stop sweep or whatever. You want to do this, you can do it in the US hours. You can do it at the US hours. We're going to have a bit of a volatility from 4:45 onwards. Okay, so be careful during that period. But like I said, it should take us to 8:30, 8:45, and then we might have a good opportunity to trade at those hours if the price is right. Okay, and let's refresh this so we get this weekly pivot and the daily pivot sorted out. Okay, as you can see, so all the gaps are pretty much filled in. Okay, so now all we have to do is, if you're going to trade this, then that's the way to go. Okay, a little bit higher into there. If it breaks out, that's going to be a target, and that will sell there again. So if it breaks out, any pullback is good to buy to go there. And if the market sells off, if you chuck a UE, then we should push down. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ. Dow Jones Monday, NASDAQ Monday. So, all right, nice and easy. So once again, let's get rid of this rectangle here because it's done its job. And I'm going to bring us to the calls again. All right, so that's the fill range. So we go back up, we can sell off again. Okay, it's healthier if we do that. The market can also sell off here. All right, so I'll do that and I'll put this there. That should be a zone for us to get into. All right, in between there. So PST 57, that's the price of 42,308. Let's see where that's going to be. 42,308 is exactly in between there, right? So that's not a bad zone there. All right, so we should pop into this in between there, right? So if you're going to trade it, that's where we should pop into. Okay, and then On the weekly, the good buy kiss is 55. That's a nice spot to sell if we get there. 42,938. All right, so let's do this. 42,938. Obviously, that's going to be far out. Wow, that's just too far out. I hope we don't go there. 42. Did I read that right? 55. 42,938. Okay, so if we break out, then 42,938 is the spot on there. Okay, so we'll see how that pans out. Okay, but for us, okay, this zone is a sell zone. Okay, the high of let me see, the high of Thursday, or even the high of here as well. Okay, into there. So if we do pop into here into the next swing day, it's okay. We can do that. Why? Because last week, did this have a swing day Friday? No, I had a swing day Thursday, so that wasn't it. Friday, it went lower. Okay. Okay, so that's it. So we just have to wait out for it. Okay, so because today's a swing day and the market pushed up, I don't mind selling. It could happen at the end of the day as well. Okay, remember, because sometimes what happens is we'll go up, it'll make a high, and then it'll start falling. Okay, so that's also possible. So if we end up at a high today, you could leave it to trade it tomorrow. All right, so don't rush your trade. Just, plan it out properly. So let's take a look at NASDAQ. Now NASDAQ's got swing day. It's also got Monday. Let me just sort this out. So we don't mind selling again. All right, so NASDAQ looks like it did targets last week. Okay, fair enough. This is a place where we can sell off. Okay, unless it breaks above the high of last week. What's that? Goodbye kiss 61. 22,092. 22,000. That is just too far out, but I'm going to put it there anyway. $22,092. Let's do this. All right, so I'll put that up there if you're trading NASDAQ. But the gist of the story is we'd like to sell from here again. Okay, now here there is a gap, so I'm going to put a rectangle around it so we know the zone. All right, but it's kind of done it last week. So if it retests on a swing day, you want to sell. Right, if we go up to retest that level on a swing day, you can sell again. On this one, 71 is 22,140 to 156. So we'll see how things pan out. Okay, but like I said, waiting for tomorrow is also not a bad idea on this one. Okay, so yeah, we can still do that. And then we should if it's going to fall, we're falling at least into this zone. All right, so there's room to come down. Okay, and that's it basically. So use the trading hours to do it. That 8:30, 8:45 is looking like a retracement. Okay, if it is a retracement, so if the market goes down, goes back up to retrace, then following through is the way to go. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin we had last week, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. So Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Where's Monday? So that's your Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So market makes a high on Thursday, falls off, all right, and then Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, so Monday breaks out, becomes a low. All right, so that was a low of the week as well. And once it broke out, we went into the next swing day, and then coming into Saturday. All right, and that's just Saturday there, making a low. Okay, I'm still going to keep this here. Okay. Now, today we've got, okay, we don't have anything today for Bitcoin. If I take a look at it just from a technical point of view, then from a technical point of view, we've got HCL1, don't we? Is that LCL1? 115,997. Let's do this. So we've got room to go into 115,997. Now, because we don't have a swing day, what are we going to do? If we come back down into the daily or the weekly, okay, into this zone, if it's a trade hour, it's buyable. Okay, because this is looking bullish. And then you can do that 115,997 as a target, 116,000, let's say. Okay, so 115,997. $115,997. All right, so that would be like a target for you if you want to buy it at the lowest. All right, because there's a gap here, so market coming back down is logical into the daily, the opening, and so on. All right, this is 445. Remember, I had 445. So this thing is attractive, and it's still attractive until 10 past 7. 10 past 7. 10 past 7 is there. All right. So from here onwards, it's not very attractive. Okay. So what do we have to do from here? You're going to have to wait for 10:30. Like I said, remember I said make a mental note of 10:30. I say a mental note because I don't want you to take that as a trade hour, because the confirmation of whatever is going to happen at 12 o'clock. Okay, that's why I'm saying keep a mental note. So if it's going to turn around or break out, we're going to have two things. We're going to break out or turn around. If it breaks out, this is your breakout. Okay, If it breaks out to the downside, if we turn around from here, okay, it should start to be logical. Turning around is logical around this time here, because this price is just not logical. Okay, so whatever is gonna happen, it's gonna happen after this. All right, and that's how it is. And then we could have today we can have surprise breakout moves until we get to New York, like I said, until we go to that 5 o'clock, so be mindful. If it breaks out in a direction, it should take us to New York and possibly even to that 8:30 evening. Okay, so make a mental note of those things when you are trading. Have a good day. Any questions, dramas, let me know, guys. You can always drop an email, make a comment as well in the members area, because I get those into my email box, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a good one.